Welcome to the TK Show with the Athletic Bay Area's Editor-in-Chief, Tim Kawakami.
All right, everybody, Tim Kawakami here with a unique TK Show. I won't say that this was put together on the fly, but this was put together on the fly and literally on the road because Marcus is late for Warriors Plus Minus, stuck in traffic, and I had my guest for the TK Show sort of not appear. So we got Marcus Thompson on the TK Show, all planned, glorious as ever. I think this is going to really, really work, or it won't. And then we're going to record a Warriors Plus Minus after this, so when the traffic abates and Marcus is here. So Marcus, how great is it for you to be a guest on the TK Show? Must really make your day.
I am overwhelmed by this amount of affection and appreciation you are showing for me by making me your follow-up, back plan C, whatever. We kind of got to do something. Yes, that just shows me how you feel.
I'm a good improviser. I'll just put it that way. Wait a minute, Marcus is stuck in traffic. Let's just put him on the phone and we'll get a TK Show out of this. How's traffic, by the way?
It's moving along pretty well now. I cleared a rough spot. No. Another one is coming. Shout out to Ben Cruz for making me drive to San Jose in the peak of rush hour. Thank you, Ben.
He rules over us with an iron fist that we're just like, it's scary. I wish I had that kind of authority. I just don't. But we're going to talk Warriors.
We're going to talk about your authority.
I know. We're going to talk Warriors on Warriors Plus Minus, so we won't get into Warriors here. This is the traffic edition of our podcast. Let's talk about the Athletic. I think you and I are reasonably interested in that topic. We're reasonably involved in this. We're 8 months into the launch of the Athletic Bay Area. How do you think it's gone, Marcus?
Let's say when I was making the decision, right? I don't know about you, but I was kind of laboring over the decision, and
I am aware of that. I am aware of that.
It was emotional. It was tough. And fast forward like 8 months, like I feel like an idiot for laboring. Mm-hmm. What if I was like, what if something had happened during that laboring that pushed me the wrong way? I left myself too vulnerable. This was a no-brainer. Like, hindsight says it was a no-brainer. It was so obvious. And I don't know, I'm questioning myself for not seeing that off the top right away. Now, we have some others who still haven't seen it yet in our industry.
Yes, that is true.
But I feel like it's a knock on my IQ that I didn't see it faster. That's how well
you saw it. No, I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I can tease it all you want, but you saw it. You did see it. It just was a matter of were the practical steps going to all be there, and it was a little bit of a leap of faith for both of us and for Anthony Slater, who was right there with us on the first day. But yeah, it was. Is this all going to be in place? What is this going to look like? And I made the decision a little faster than you did, but we all made it together. I mean, what would you say, like, at what point of us actually being up and running did you feel this is it? Okay, this is automatically now going to work?
To be honest, July 31.
Yeah.
Like, when we posted, I mean, for real, like, I thought it would be like a slow kind of gradual build. But, like, day one was crazy.
Yep.
And that's what I thought, like, wow, this thing is for real. And people just showed off the bat that they were willing to subscribe, they were willing to pay for good information. And then when the t-shirts came out, oh man, that really set it up. So we had a month, was it December? We had a crazy month.
Yep.
Where it was like, oh my Lord, like
yep.
This is crazy. So initially, it was day one where I was like, wow. Because, remember they talked about the goals and everything was, like, very tempered and take your time. It's the long game,
yep.
Right?
No, we don't hear that anymore, do we? We don't.
Nah, at the opposite of that. The opposite of that.
Why aren't you coming up with this triple the numbers of the goal? Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah, right? Man, what happened to that big month of December? That's the new norm. So to come out of the bat like that, for me, that let me know this will work. And then once we hit December, that's when I was like, Why were you even debating this, dude? What's wrong with you?
Yep. I'll tell you what, I believed in this. I did believe in the slow build, and that did not happen. It happened so quickly. I think maybe it was 3-4 weeks when we got a big number into it, and it's like, this is it. This is happening. I felt good about it again, but I felt good about it like after a year. We'll really feel good about this. After a year, we put in a year, 6 months. This is going to be the thing, and it was like 3 weeks where I felt that, which again, maybe it ups the expectations, and we're hearing that now, and and I'm saying, hey, we've done pretty good here, and we're going to continue to do pretty good, and we're going to do better and better. I don't need to hear about upped expectations based on numbers that we've been blowing away every week. But that's inside stuff, so people might not want to hear all that.
Can I tell you, like, the first time I was uncertain, or the first time I had a question?
Sure, absolutely.
When you sent me on 4 days of golf to start the whole project.
I didn't send you on that.
Lord.
You raised your hand and said, hey, by the way, Steph's playing golf.
For day one, and then you're like, yeah, you got to go back out there. And then, yeah, you got to go back out there. 4 straight days of golf. I was like, yeah, this ain't going to work.
For some reason, you didn't pick that up and just keep continuing covering golf. I just wanted you to be our golf guy. I don't understand you started doing this Warriors stuff.
Hey, I would have happily been in Augusta right now.
Yeah, that would be your thing. If Steph was there, I'd want you there. But then we saw the numbers on your columns from Steph playing in that tournament, and we said, you know what, just keep doing it. Just keep going back out.
You didn't see the way I looked walking the hills in the heat, though. I didn't think I was gonna last.
Oh yeah. Well, and by the way, who was putting out the site those days? Who was editing every story and putting out the site and covering the 49ers? I'm trying to remember who was doing all that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Maybe it happened. I
think maybe John Middlecoff.
John Middlecoff. Yeah, John Middlecoff, Steve Berman, Melissa Lockhart, Eno Saris, David Lombardi, Dieter Kurtenbach. That first group, mostly of contributors. We've hired some since. I said this at a dinner. They were really important to me. They came through for me. Marcus Thompson was in there too, and that was big. That we had 4 or 5 or 6 stories a day out of nowhere. We didn't have a day when we had 2 stories. We had consistent stories of high quality, and that was important. I mean, I don't think that was make or break for us. I think make or break was our Warriors coverage, was our 49ers coverage, was our Raiders coverage, Giants and A's eventually. Was that going to be good? And Sharks in there too. But that first week, just to be able to put stories up that people wanted to read, and the staff that we had, the writers that we had, that was very, very important to me. And somehow we managed to get it up, edited, put headlines on it somehow. Remember the way it looked in the first few weeks, the boxes? It was all boxes.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I kind of liked it, but obviously it's much cleaner now, much more organized. But it was very kind of interesting. Like these big boxes, you could choose whether it was a big box or a little box. There's a different look to it, and I kind of missed it right at when we changed it, which was not long into the process. But
we've changed like 4 times already.
That is true.
Like every other month, we got a new look.
Yes. I think we're going to stick with this.
Media.
I think we're going to stick with this one, but again, I thought we were going to stick with the last one, and they changed it up again. But I like it. I mean, Jimmy Durkin, the senior editor, and I, we can move around the stories. We can put stories in certain places based on how we where the news is and where the readership is or what we want to put out there. But it takes some getting used to each time we change it. That's for sure. Oh man, our founders are just going to love this conversation. They are going to love it. I'm going to blame it all on you, Marcus. It's all you. Somehow you've led me astray on all of this.
That's fine. I'll take the L. I've been taking, a few L's here and there.
Well, let's talk about it. Again, they're not going to love this, but the company's been hit for some.
This is where we lose our jobs.
This is right here. That's all right. We're in the.
This is the moment right here.
This is the moment. This is the moment. Just underline this. Ben, cut this out. Send it to them straight. Been hit for some diversity issues, and I think it's been generally noted that we can do better on this. I would point out that the Bay Area is not a problem on this. The Bay Area, I am very proud that we have the best stuff, the best writers, the best editors, and we're very diverse. I'm just going to point that out. Don't want to make any other judgment on anything else, but those facts. Marcus, you have any
That's a
thoughts
judgment, though, TK. That's a judgment right there. It was indirect, but
no judgment.
Very well
no judgment. I love her. I love her company. I love the thinking. I think we can do better.
We're going to take a quick break for a word from our friends at Hims, a new wellness brand for men. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? I know some of you Warriors fans have used that line when talking about a certain Eastern Conference rival, but it's not funny when it starts happening to you. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Do you want your hairline to recede, or do you want to do something about it? Luckily, we've got a solution for you. forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss and more for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. No weird snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These prescription solutions are backed by science. Save hours by going to forhims.com. It's so easy. Answer a few quick questions, a doctor will review and prescribe you products, and they are shipped directly to your door. Now is your chance to order. TK's listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds of dollars if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. So, go to forhims.com/TK. That's forhims.com/TK. forhims.com/TK. Now, back to the TK show.
So Greg Lee, former president of the National Association of Black Journalists, put out some data based on whatever public knowledge is out there about who is working for us, and the numbers, don't look very diverse. But I was thinking, man, what if you took Bay Area out?
Yeah.
They would get even worse.
Yep.
You know what? Look, this is what should happen. If I had a criticism about the quote unquote attacks, it would just be like, hey, where are they for everybody else?
Absolutely.
Right? Because nobody has this figured out. Nobody's really trying, and for me, it's an easy target to throw darts at the infant company that's hasn't figured it out. Give them 5 years if it looks shady, all right, but some of these organizations have had decades to figure it out and have not. So we have these conversations internally, and I'm not yet ready to say I don't believe in them. I feel like when I talk to the people who run our company, it is important for them. I don't believe it is the priority. It is our number one priority. Like, that's the mistake. I think they're saying, oh, this is our number one priority. Actually, it's really not. Running a successful business is, right? Which is why, hey, sometimes you get the one you think is best instead of the one that fits the goals of diversity. But I do think it is important to people in our company, including you, who you are a power broker in the company, and it matters to you. And Alex Mather, I still believe it matters to him. They definitely have to do better, but I do give them a pass because it is a young company, and it is a very unique operation. It's not like you can just hire the best available. You have to hire, in many ways, the best available in this specific city for this specific beat. Or for this, it's not like, hey, let's find a good writer and put him in Seattle. Like, no, in order to run a subscription model, you have to find somebody who can make a wave in Seattle. And usually that's somebody who's in Seattle.
And has covered the team for several years.
So that's how we survive as a company, is getting people who will get people to pay, like, from the beginning. So you can't just plug people in. I had a conversation with Darnell Mayberry, who's our Chicago Bulls beat writer. And Darnell Mayberry is a very experienced NBA writer. He covered Oklahoma City for years. Like when Kevin Durant and them first got there, he was there. Very respected beat writer. And he talked about how difficult it is to walk into a market where you aren't known.
Yep.
And get subscriptions. Now, does he do a good job? Absolutely. He writes good stories, right? He does great reporting, but it's going to take him some time for people to I guess put that clout on him and to say, yeah, this is our guy. He knows our team, and that's what you need in this model we set up. So that's part of the problem, is that you can't just put anybody who is good on a specific job. They have to fit in that market to draw subscriptions. With that said, they still could have done better, and they know that. And for me, as long as they continue to try to do better and continue paying me very well like they are, I'll be.
Well, that might stop.
There.
Yeah, that might stop today, though. So that second part might stop today. But no,
yep.
The reason why
you just got me fired.
Yeah, the reason why I don't mind discussing this is that we believe in the company. We believe in the company from the beginning, but you don't have to. You can believe in a company and still think the company can do better, and you can believe in them and understand their reasoning and what they've done, and still ask them to do better. And
we've told them that.
Yes.
So there's nothing I'm saying now that I have not told them and are not telling them. And also, I'm making recommendations and getting people in the mix. So they know they have to do better.
Yep.
It's not like they don't think, it's all cool.
Yep.
But that's the difficulty of starting a company. There's a lot of boxes you have to check. And, it's not just that too. There are other things that as a startup you kind of got to figure out. And as we get, more mature as a company, we'll probably figure those things out too. So,
yep. And that's the other part. This company has expanded and grown and succeeded faster than anybody thought. Right? The latest wave of expansion was, I don't think, again, you and I don't make these plans. We're not in all those meetings, but I don't think they were going to go, this fast into this many cities and this many beats. It's just been a company that's hit something, and it's hit it fast. And as you expand beyond some of your earlier projections, then it gets you're going into realms you hadn't quite plotted out yet. And I get that, and you get that. And the point is that they're figuring this out. We're all figuring this out. We're figuring out the Bay Area. We're figuring out, after 8 months, we're still figuring it out. I think we figured it out pretty good so far, by the way. But if they, it's just hard to say this is exactly how it should go when I look at newspaper newsrooms, and they're not very diverse, by the way. And I look at possibly TV stations, and they're not very diverse. And I look at NFL front offices, and they're not very diverse. And I look at a whole slate of things that you could pick out one by one. I look at APSC, that's the Associated Press Sports Editor. It's kind of the organizing body of sports pages. They're not very diverse.
And haven't been.
And
this is not new. This is like decades of this.
Exactly. And you look at maybe the people that these newspapers or other organizations have hired to replace the people we've hired. That's not been very diverse. This whole industry, almost all industries have issues with this, especially when you start up a new company within it. So this is all within that context. And I think you and I appreciate that. You and I understand that. We also believe that we could do better. And
it would be nice if we're the leaders. It would be nice if we're the pace setters on this, if we're the example. But, like I've talked to a lot of people. This is one of the things that is a little difficult for me being on The Athletic, is that I get a lot of the, when something like Greg Lee's, tweet goes out with the diversity numbers, my phone is on fire, right? And,
yes.
I'm like the representative, I guess, because there's only, they call us the 4%ers now because there's only 4% black people, so we're the 4%ers. So my phone is blowing up. But one of the the number one complaints is just people just don't feel like they have an opportunity to compete for the job. And I know there are like a lot of behind the scenes workings, and even how we got our job, right? You and I, like, we talked directly with the CEO and the founders of the company.
Yep.
There wasn't like an application process. Do you think we need to head that way? Or do you think, this is going to be like a network opportunity company, and it's about who you know, just like it is practically everywhere else. And there isn't this, hey, we got to open it in Seattle, let's open it up nationally and see who apply. I think that's how people are used to, that's how people get a shot to, to compete for the job. But they don't feel like they're getting that, which leads to kind of the venom that we've seen on social media, because people just aren't getting a chance to compete for the job.
Yeah, and I believe there is some competition for these jobs. Again, we're not involved with it. It's select.
Yes.
And, there are diversity candidates. I very much believe that. And it just, for some reason or another, the hiring hasn't quite matched that. But again, I think the goal is certainly to be better. And I would have every expectation that it would be better. And if you and I didn't believe in this company, we would not be here. We had other options, and we're
still
here.
do.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. We believe in the company, and I'll just say I really believe in the Bay Area. Let's move off of this firing line here, and let's talk about this. What do you think about our site? What have you liked about what we've done, and where do you think we could be a little bit better? Just the Bay Area. This is what I control, what you control.
Well, we definitely need better leadership from the top.
True. That's true. That's very well. That's going to happen after this podcast anyway. So.
If we could get a new editor, we'd be great. But one of the things that I really like is we have good writers. We have engaging writers, and if there was one thing we can do more, is probably let them stretch their legs a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I like Slater, right? I think Anthony Slater is really good. I would like to see him sink his teeth into some stuff. And obviously Andrew Baggerly is a machine. He's great. I would like to see him sink his teeth into stuff some more. And we have this other guy who's like knows Harbaugh and all these people, and he's too busy editing stories and stuff. But any chance he can write more, especially in depth and get into it, I think that's going to be our next level, especially as we get into the summer where everything is not coming so fast, right? But I mean, we have some really good writers. It's like I read our site and the work is just good, right? Like it's just good. So I really like that. I also love. I'm a child of. I'm not a millennial, but I was reared in the millennial age, so I just like the way it looks, its operation, how it feels. It's so easy to just navigate.
Yep.
I'm on my phone. It just, for me, it looks cool and it looks professional. It looks like it costs $300 a month, right? And for me, that means a lot. That nobody's out here participating in something that looks janky. And I go on some other websites sometimes, when you click a link, and sometimes I just can't even go through with it anymore. I can't deal with
the pop-up ads.
I just can't deal with it. I have to ask myself, how badly do I want to read this story? And 9 times out of 10, it's like, not that badly.
Yep.
Just because the experience is so cumbersome. So I really like that about us. And obviously, we just cover dynamic teams. We cover teams that aren't run of the mill. We cover teams with a combination of history and personality and, current success or recent success. So I just feel like we kind of struck a little bit of lightning here in the Bay Area. We just caught this at a really good time. Maybe 15 years ago, it wasn't like this. There was like the Niners, and that's it, maybe.
Yep.
So we just got to keep it going in that sense.
That's one thing I'm struggling. I loved my in-depth stuff that I used to do when I was a columnist before I took this job. And I just don't have the time to do it. I've kind of made that decision. I just don't have the time to do it. I would like to. Maybe down the road we will be staffed in a way where I can, walk away from the editing for 3 or 4 days. But at this moment, I cannot. There's just no way. And
there's not.
Yeah, I can do a column here or there, but I can't get away from the editing for even a full day. It has to be a half day. And I wish I could. I want to do more, but to do it like the story of the Game 6 against Oklahoma City last year, just to talk to everybody about that and write a 80-inch piece. I can't do it. I just don't have the time to do that. So I wish I did. But we've got people who do those stories. And we might have another person to do that very soon on the Warriors. So this is all how we develop. This is, again, we're all learning this. We're all figuring out. Probably our founders are saying maybe Tim will figure this out at some point. We're hoping he does. They can get on a podcast and talk about me that way. That's fine. But I think we're just. It's a startup with startup mentality. You and I keep saying that to each other, and we're happy with how it's gone, and we do want to be better every day.
Crazy happy, yeah. But that's how it's going to get better, is wanting to get better.
Yep.
We just don't. We don't have the type of people who rest on their laurels.
No.
And always seeing, like, it's what's so clear is the potential. Is for what to be, and it only gets, the better we do, the more clear it becomes, right? The more we do, the more obvious it is. So it almost kind of feeds itself in that way. It's like, wow, like, you look at this. So what if we did this, and how great could it be?
Yep.
And where we know it's true, and our competitors, they look at us with a reverence and. They talk to us in a certain tone. I'm like, wow, nobody talked about me like this before.
Yeah. Oh, it's
right.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. They see it. And I'll say we've talked about this before. The way the players and team executives have reacted to this almost was, we don't need that confirmation because we're just trying to write good stories. But it has been, they see it. They're looking for new ways. They're looking for new platforms. And the reaction we've gotten from, not just Warriors players, but, obviously we deal so much with the Warriors players. That's the first point. And, and the Warriors coach and the Warriors front office and the 49ers, front office and, just on down the line. It's been very interesting how quickly that's happened. And I am both proud of it and I'm kind of amazed that this happened so quickly, but I'll take it. I'll take it every time. All right, Mark, let's wrap this up here. The Firing TK Show episode with Marcus Thompson. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh man, I don't even remember what I said last time.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't either. But just come up with something.
No, I have some options here, but I'm gonna go with my tried and true. When every time someone comes to town, we go here, and like I have the same meal, the same like rotation of meals, and they're always really good every time, no matter what. So I got to go with Brown Sugar Kitchen. You got to get the smoked pork hash or the chicken and waffles or the shrimp and grits. But I'm a Brown Sugar Kitchen fan. That's my regular go-to.
And I'm presuming it's in Oakland.
Yep, in Oakland on Mandela. Have you been?
No.
You haven't been?
No, I've never even heard.
We're going.
Okay.
We're going.
We're going there.
We're going.
All right. Then we're going to go to Black Panther after that, according to Roz. So we'll
You still haven't seen it?
No,
Can you?
I haven't. I'm going to get that. I better see it before. I better see it. I do not have time to go see a movie, by the way. I better go see it before I see Roz, by the way, though. I got to remind myself on that one. Playoffs coming. If there's a TNT game coming up, I better go see Black Panther before Roz sees me. I'll get in
I'm
trouble.
about to hit David West and see if he'll escort you to the game.
All right, Marcus. That's the show that gets us both fired. TK Show for today, and you'll get in here at House Traffic, and we'll do Words Plus Minus soon.
All right, I'll be there in a minute.